When the news broke that Assata Shakur had passed, you might expect silence. At least I did. Reflection. Maybe even a little respect for the family grieving. But instead, we heard something else. The head of the FBI rushing to tell us, don't mourn her. Yes, you heard me right. I recently saw a headline that read, FBI Director Kash Patel tells public not to mourn Tupac's godmother, Assata Shakur. The director of the FBI urging us not to mourn her? What? Think about that for a second. Why is the most powerful law enforcement agency in the country so concerned with how you and I grieve? Why do they still need to own the story of one black woman, decades after she escaped their custody? For those of you who don't know, Assata Shakur was born Joanne Deborah Byron in 1947 in Queens, New York. She became active in the Black Panther Party and later the Black Liberation Army, fighting against racism and state violence in the 1960s and 70s. In 1973, she was involved in a traffic stop that turned into a shootout. A state trooper was killed. She was convicted of murder, though she's always maintained she didn't fire the fatal shot. In 1979, she escaped prison and fled to Cuba, where she lived in exile until her death. Now here's where my perspective comes in. I have graduated from Corrections Academy and Law Enforcement Academy. I was a correctional officer for several years. And in these fields, one thing you see a lot is ego. I've seen these egos up close. To them, her escape wasn't just an escape. It was a loss. And if there's one thing law enforcement culture hates, it's losing. So when the FBI tells the public, don't mourn her, what they're really saying is, don't let her win, even in death. Don't let her name carry weight. Don't let her legacy breathe. That's not just about her. That's about their need to control the narrative. And so the truth is, you don't have to agree with everything Assata Shakur did to understand why she became a symbol. You don't even have to choose between hero or fugitive to see the bigger picture. Because what outlives the headlines are her words. She said, quote, "It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains." Unquote. That's not just a slogan. It's a reminder that freedom isn't handed out. It's fought for. And it's not fought for alone. It takes love. It takes support. It takes community. That's the part the FBI can't bury. That's the truth that keeps rising every time her name does. Because the FBI statement wasn't really about Assata at all. It was about us, about making sure we remember her their way, as a terrorist, as a threat, as a cautionary tale. But here's the irony. The fact that they're still talking about her nearly 50 years after her escape proves something else. That she left a mark they could never erase. They needed to have the last word because deep down, they know she still has the louder one. So yes, the FBI wanted to own her story even in death. But the last word doesn't belong to them. It belongs to her legacy, her struggle, and to all of us still wrestling with the same chains she named. Whether you call her hero or outlaw, one truth remains. Assata Shakur made the system reveal itself. And that in itself is a kind of victory.